Hey, what's up guys? It's me, New with FinallyAnime.com, and we're going to be talking about Undertow and Possession for today, the Situational Vigors. And just a note, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and alright, so let's talk about Undertow first. Seemingly useless at first, it can be a lifesaver if you know how and when to use it. But just keep in mind that since the salt usage is up there with Murder the Crows, only second to an unupgraded possession, it has to be used efficiently. And quite plain from the start, when upgraded it eliminates wandering or any need of radar, so it can be pretty useful. As you can probably tell, Undertow isn't about damage but more so designed to save you time and maximize damage with smart use, which the first firing mode soon teaches. Anything hit with this vigor gets propelled a good distance away and just slightly tossed in the air, so any enemies near rails should automatically be dealt with via Undertow. Lone enemies can be lobbed up in the air with bucking bronco and shot off the edge using the momentum of bullets for less salt and a couple of bullets for cost, but honestly Undertow's much more simplistic. In fact, in the later stages, these slippery tendrils outclass the other vigors hands down due to its fire and forget nature. The secondary fire is slightly more involved, but in a good way. When held down, water seeks out the nearest opponent, and when upgraded seeks out more targets, and soon anything else you can see, and even things you can't see. After letting go, the targeted enemies are immediately set in front of you in a wet tight jacket for 3 seconds, just enough time to switch vigors and fire accordingly. Upgrades. For the first upgrade, Undertow mod $306 in Emporia lets you grab 3 opponents at a time, and all I can really say is to get it. Just get it. It's super cheap, super useful, and works extremely well with any shock-related gear like electric punch hat and overkill shoes. The second upgrade, Undertow Boost 1.1k in downtown Emporia, extends range twice as far. So long story short, if you see something, you can grab it, period. There are some rare instances you might not be able to grab someone, but in all fairness, the distance was like the size of a football field, and even after that, just moving a couple steps remedies the problem. This is the best vigor to use on machinery at all. Initially I thought it was shock jockey, but dumping water on a machine in game apparently turns out to make much more sense. And using it on a Patriot then following up with shock or power enhancing gear only serves to boost Undertow's value. I think I already mentioned this in another video, I can't remember, but when you mix overkill with Undertow, it makes life a lot easier because of the shock interacting with the water. Oh, and since this vigor takes a relatively long time to activate, I recommend not using it in mid-battle, you'll probably die, but instead using it before you engage enemies in the first place. It makes for a nice surprise attack because you can have enemies insta-gid before they even know what hit them, if you know what I'm saying. And in the same capacity, doing this with snipers is paramount. And I won't lie, guys, I died probably 10 more times against these snipers. It was ridiculous. And no wonder, because you face 5 in the area, and usually 2 at a time. So use Undertow from behind cover to make short work of the snipers and save your money. Another thing this thing saves is time. Usually you don't have to go and finish every enemy to move on, but I'm a little OCD, so using this to find stray enemies is priceless. And it doesn't stop there either. There's a lot more you can do with this. When fighting handymen, feel free to snatch a foe, put it in front of them, and see what happens. If timed right, it'll buy you more time than even Murder of Crows, and kill a foe in the process. If you're desperate, you can pull the handyman over to you with Undertow and get 3 free seconds, but I wouldn't advise it, unless there's a skyline nearby. And let's not forget about that infamous ship level. You know what I'm talking about, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you will know what I'm talking about. I decided to try almost exclusively to use Undertow just to test its effectiveness, and I didn't die at all, not once. Another fun trick is planting a trap before you grab people right in front of you, and then letting them suffer after getting flung over to you. When baddies get too close, just walk away, all the way to the bow, and pull them over to you to create more time. However, since you can't actively select targets, weeding out the weak humans from the Patriots with Devil's Kiss is great, so you can only grab the mechanical Patriots and keep them away and not waste time with puny humans while the Patriots blast away at the reactor. And one last thing, I used bucking bronco where some puddles of water were and the targets were shocked. There's no electricity in play at all, and I don't know what happened. If you know what happened, Leave me a comment or something because I'm kind of confused. But anyways, let's move on. Possession, background, and upgrades. Far too many times the first ability or item in games is the one used the least, but Bioshock has a really good habit of making the first one of the most important. So this time around it's Possession, a straightforward vigor in place of enrage and hypnotized plasmids from Rapture. Just like the others, understood and upgraded, it'll be the most valuable. For the primary fire, initially it'll only work on machines, and any machine at that, even vending machines. I thought the prices would maybe lower, kind of like hacking, but instead it just gives you a payout of coins instead. I highly recommend possessing every single machine you come across, or at least coming back after you have enough salts. It adds up, and I was able to upgrade almost everything except one thing, and I didn't even need that. You can get up to $20 or $80 from any given machine, so don't lose out. At the very least, it'll cancel your dying fee. Upgraded with Possession mod, only $50 in Raffle Square, it'll work on humans and force suicide in the process. So unleashing Possession with a rocket boy not by the rail is really helpful so that they kill people and then kill themselves. Turrets are okay, but just make sure you're ready to kill them after or escape if they turn on you. The alternative fire lets you fire a Possession mine and get a couple targets at most, but it costs a lot of salts, a lot. If you haven't upgraded with Possession for less an expensive 1.6k in the Hall of Heroes, it can really cost you. And if you don't upgrade it, don't feel like all's lost, Return for Sender is a wonderful replacement. Tips and tactics. Since Possession is really straightforward, there isn't too much more I can tell you that I haven't already, but then again, make sure you use them on rocket boys if not close to a ledge, and befriend all machines you come across. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage because I kept killing everything, but you can mix this with Shock Jockey and have a frenemy turn into a walking Tesla coil. And actually, if you mix this with Devil's Kiss, your new friend becomes a walking, burning twister. The combination can be good if pulled off, but it rarely happens, and for me, it's way too expensive. You'd be better off using Undertow and Shock Jockey Trap instead. And before I forget, just remember this does not go through walls and does not home in on targets. When you fire, fire straight and sure, lest you'll miss. In addition, it doesn't work on handymen, sirens, or other heavy hitters, so forget about it. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. It was a bit hard trying to find all the uses of Undertow, but once I got some momentum, I guess I ended up finding a lot of really cool tricks. If you guys have any I left out, just let me know. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll make more if you guys want me to. So trust me, it takes 2 whole days to do all this stuff, gathering footage, editing, writing, recording, encoding, uploading, tagging, stalking. No, I'm just playing. Anyways, it takes quite a bit. Despite that, I'm not doing these for the views. I'm just doing it for the people who want to have fun, play the game, and, learn something. So if you like them, you can feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Anyways, guys, I hope you learned something, and I will see you guys later on the next episode. Okay, thanks.